Today we continue our adventure with the drive from Los Ozos to Santa Monica, intending to continue to Los Angeles tomorrow morning. With the Californian sun above us, but the rain still trailing behind, we drive mainly along the coast to our first destination. We debated for a long time whether to include Los Angeles and Santa Monica in our itinerary. Opinions varied greatly. Some absolutely loved the idea, while others were strongly against it, because one can only form an opinion after experiencing it. We decided to opt for a light version. An afternoon at Santa Monica Pier and Venice, followed by a morning in Los Angeles the next day. If you stay with us, I'll share later whether it was worth it. During our drive, we are greeted by Malibu. With its white beaches and unaffordable villas, it's an oasis for the rich. Beautiful houses, indeed, but closely packed together and bordered at the back by a consistently busy coastal road. Not our preference, but interesting to see. We check into the Hampton Inn, our hotel for one night in Santa Monica. There will be a video about the hotel later, but I can say it's an expensive but excellent base, conveniently close to the Pier and Venice Beach. Both places are easily accessible on foot and in a safe manner from the hotel. We decide to walk from the pier along the beach to Venice Beach. This is a fantastic path that stretches over 2 miles, sandwiched between the beach on one side and hotels, apartments, and peculiar shops on the other. These 2 miles can be best described as a colorful chaos filled with street performers, skaters, cyclists, and characters of all kinds. We can't get enough of it, and it would have been a shame to miss it on our road trip. You move from one attraction to another, and the palm trees on both sides of the path complete the subtropical vibe. It's interesting to note that Venice Beach is the second tourist attraction in California after Disneyland. Who would have thought? In 2015, 10 million visitors were welcomed. Can you imagine? Half of the Netherlands walking along this boardwalk in a year. Funny to know that Venice Beach mainly attracts visitors between 25 and 34 years old, something I, as a 34-pluser, don't quite understand, because there's something for all ages to see and experience. Also, world famous is Muscle Beach. Amusing but not very spectacular. We actually find the nearby skate park more enjoyable. A genuine street vibe prevails here. The skaters with their antics and the colorful characters around the track make it an attraction in itself. It's definitely worth spending some time here. After the skaters, we continue our way back towards the pier to view the whole circus from the other side. Honestly, we could spend a whole day here if we hadn't decided to do a light version. You have to adapt to the pace of the crowd and the surroundings, and unfortunately, there's no room for it in our busy schedule. By the way, we heard a lot about homeless people in this area, but it's not as bad as we expected. Even compared to San Francisco, the homeless here are relaxed and adapt to the atmosphere. We continue our journey north towards the next world-famous point along the Californian coast, the Santa Monica Pier Everyone has seen this pier in a movie. And from a distance, the amusement park on top of the pier is already recognizable. Another item on our bucket list, and it would have been a shame to skip it. The pier dates back to 1909 and has stood the test of time for over a century. From the pier, you have a fantastic view of the Santa Monica coastline with beach houses on the sand. In the setting sun, it's an unforgettable sight. Of course, we take a stroll over Pacific Park, the amusement park on top of the pier, featuring the famous Ferris wheel and the unmistakable atmosphere of the 70s. We feel like we're in movies of that era, such as The Sting with Paul Newman. The pier is also the starting point of the famous Route 66. However, we'll be picking that up in a few days after Joshua Tree. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss it. Similar to the Venice boardwalk, we find the real attraction is observing all the peculiar characters literally hanging around. We can't get enough of it. As the sun begins to set, we position ourselves in the front row for the performance called Sunset. Truly breathtaking and worth another visit. Unfortunately, our visit to the pier comes to an end, and we return to our hotel for a good night's sleep and a hearty breakfast before leaving this spot to explore a small part of Los Angeles. With this, we also leave the Californian coast, only to see it again from the plane on the way back. We set course for the iconic Beverly Hills. We don't need hours to get a feel for the atmosphere here, but it's a great feeling to drive along the famous palm-lined avenues and past the renowned Beverly Hills Hotel in our Dodge. Beverly Hills 90210, Beverly Hills Cop, mention them all. For a brief moment, we feel like we're in those movies. From Beverly Hills, we continue our journey to Hollywood. Nice to have been there once, but that's about it. Decayed glory with a lot of homeless people, and too dirty for words. This turns the Walk of Fame into more of a walk of shame.
Never quite so thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic with this logic. You can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic.
We quickly cruise through, take a glance at the stars in the pavement, and swiftly move on to the Griffith Observatory, an observatory dating back to 1935. We're there before 10 in the morning, allowing us to park for free in a still empty parking lot. Believe me, it's different in the afternoon. From here, we have an excellent view of the famous Hollywood sign. Fortunately, we didn't detour for this, as we initially planned. Unfortunately, the observatory is not open at this time, but we thoroughly enjoy the tranquility, the building itself, and the magnificent view of the city, and the grand villas defying gravity on the mountainside. We take a stroll around the beautiful Art Deco white building and cast a final glance at the city before continuing to drive through the city towards Palm Springs, where we hope to arrive this afternoon. More about this in our next video. Make sure to be there.